Kentucky City Council now plans to investigate how the mayor responded to the deadly police shooting of Breonna Taylor. Taylor was killed back in March in what her family calls a botched police raid. It added fuel to the worldwide protest against police brutality in this country, and one of the three officers involved has since been fired, but no criminal charges have been filed against him. That officer is appealing his firing, saying it was unjustified. Last week, we spoke with Breonna Taylor's mother, Tamika Palmer, who has now filed a wrongful death lawsuit. She was in tears talking about the support that she's received. What would be most helpful to you at this time?
To continue to say her name, like I said, we're still just in the beginning. There's still so much work to be done. So just please continue to say her name. Please continue to march and demand justice.
Louisville Mayor Greg Fisher joins us now to discuss the Breonna Taylor case. He says that he will work to implement police reform in his new role as president of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. This is an interview that you'll see only on CBS This Morning. And Mayor Fisher, we thank you for joining us today. You've got a lot going on, a lot to discuss. Let's start with the Breonna Taylor case. So one officer has been fired, two others have not been fired. Are you satisfied where things stand in that case right now?
Well, good morning, Gale. Thanks for having me. The guiding principle throughout Breonna Taylor's tragedy has been get to the truth, get to the truth. I've asked the Attorney General, the FBI, the U.S. Attorney to be involved to make sure that no matter what the outcome, the truth comes out. So where the case is right now is with the Attorney General, Daniel Cameron. He will be deciding if any criminal charges will be filed on this case. In the meantime, we're not waiting for improvements. I signed Breonna's law into law a couple of weeks ago. That bans the use of no-knock warrants here in Louisville. It also requires body cameras be used on all search warrants. So we're not waiting. Anytime we have an improvement opportunity, we swing into that. That's what the U.S. Conference of Mayors will be doing also as we look at broader police reform around the country.
Mm-hmm. You're right. We all want the truth. You're absolutely right about that. And one officer has been fired. And I think Breonna Taylor's mother and people who are very upset about her death want the other two officers to be fired. What do you think? I know we're all looking into the thing, but you are the mayor of the city. Your opinion matters.
Well, what's important is the truth, and that's why all these different agencies are looking at this. I'm actually precluded by state law, believe it or not, which I would really like to see changed, KRS 67C, from commenting further on this case while it's investigation. But that's why you want the FBI, and you want the Attorney General, and you want the U.S. Attorney, and now it's with the Attorney General here in the state of Kentucky to determine what the next steps are going to be.
What was your personal reaction when you first heard about the circumstances of Breonna Taylor's death? What did you think about the actions of your police department?
Well, you're distraught. I mean, I have kids that are about the age, not kids, but young adults about the same age as Breonna Taylor, and you put yourself in the position of Breonna's mom and just say, how would you react to something like that? And it's just a pit in your stomach. And just say, how do you move through these tragedies then as a city to improve, try to make sure something like this never happens again? It's the nature of a mayor's job that you occasionally have tragedy, and then you have to move forward and try to bring your community with you at the same time. So it's certainly something that we're extraordinarily sorry about.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
A lot of people also wonder why it took 110 days for the city to take any action, and it was only after there were national protests following the death of George Floyd. Can you talk about why it took so long before there was any action in the case?
Absolutely. I mean, Louisville has been a leader in the release of body camera evidence when there's an officer-involved shooting, and that's one of the real problems or challenges with this case is there is no body camera footage. These were undercover narcotics officers executing a search warrant. Since then, I've changed that policy. So unlike some of the other cases that we see around the country, there's no direct evidence of what's happened. So that's when a public integrity unit investigation takes place. Those typically last 2 to 6 months. Probably about, 60, 70 days into this case is when action started being taken in terms of what the facts were that we knew that were coming out in terms of improvement in the community. But the fundamental lack of body cameras has been the big stumbling block in this case.
Yeah, we mentioned congratulations on your new position because you're now head of the U.S. Conference of Mayors. What do you all think is the number one